Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing episode number 9 of I Build Your Teams, which is the series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for My Team Unlimited and or competitive play base. And I say My Team Unlimited still. My Team Showdown, or in whatever else you may play here in My Team. Before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily My Team content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. So, first team in today's video comes in from my boy Trent, who has got Akeem, and he says he has a Mill on Xbox. If you rhythm shoot, Josh Smith, really not that bad. I don't mind that card. Tyrese Halliburton, T-Mac, David West, and obviously Akeem is incredible. This is, to me, I've heard decent things about that Phil Chenier card, but I still think a point guard upgrade would be in order. The problem with upgrading at point guard is they're all really expensive or not unbelievably elite. And there's one guy who I think might be the in-between there, and that is Pink Diamond Tyler Hero. I would consider trying him out, especially if you could get a badged version, because I think he's really good. And I do believe he'd be an upgrade at the point guard position, and also not nearly as expensive as a guy like Devin Booker or Zach LaVine. So that would be somebody I would consider. Backup center is a place where you could also use an upgrade. Honestly, to me though, I would just slide Cat to the 5 and pick up Diamond Al Harrington. I think that's probably the easiest way to upgrade your center position and cheaper than your other top options like a Paulo Banchero or a Jaren Jackson Jr., which obviously if you wanted to get Paulo, put him at the 4, David West back up 4, Cat back up 5, you could do that too. That'd be a great option, but Harrington will save you some MT if you get him, put him at the backup 4, and then put Cat at the backup 5. To me, that's pretty much perfect for now. And I would definitely consider looking into that hero card, though. I will say that, at least trying him out. GH has 850 KMT, says he needs a point guard or a power forward. I like Al Harrington. I don't love Cat as much. Jaren and Miles Turner is awesome. Paul George, Hawkes, T-Mac, KCP is totally fine. Jalen Green and Halliburton honestly is totally fine as well. Now here's the thing. If you want to upgrade at point guard, 850 KMT, it's the same thing that I said with the last team. And that's that Zach LaVine and Devin Booker are like way too expensive to realistically buy because they're going to cost you all your MT pretty much. So therefore, my next recommendation is a guy like Tyler Hero if you want to upgrade your point guard position. If you get one that's badged with defense, I think he's your best option. I don't know who else you would really buy, though. You could also just leave your point guard position how it is. And if you want to upgrade at a bigger, like a more substantial upgrade, I think a guy like Diamond Paulo Banchero, if you can get him for like decently affordably, I know he's very expensive, but if you can get Paulo without spending a ridiculous amount of MT, I would consider that, and then you start him at the 4 and bring Al Harrington off the bench. Now, if he's probably still going for at least 400K, that's tough. But if you can get him for around that 400K price point, it's probably the biggest upgrade that you could really make right now besides spending all your MT on a Pink Diamond. Melo says he has 600K coming in from auctions, and he wants cards to target. Anything will help. Okay, so Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, Rajah Bell Jr., Bridgman, Jaime Hawkes, T-Mac, Keith Van Horn, Draymond Green, Ronnie Cycli, and LaMarcus Aldridge. So 600 KMT coming in to add to this lineup. My first thought is you need a power forward. Go get Al Harrington. He's going to be pretty affordable and he's really, really good. So you put him at starting power forward, Keith Van Horn off the bench. Your power forwards are going to look good. Ronnie is not bad, but you could use another center. The problem with another center is they're expensive. Like, for example, a Jaren Jackson Jr., very, very expensive. There's no real like elite center that you can buy for around 100 KMT right now, I wouldn't say. So I don't really know exactly who you would buy there. Now I will consider suggesting at the shooting guard or at the small forward position that you pick up Kermit Washington for your bench, because I think then you put T-Mac and Rajah as your shooting guards and you will be chilling in that respect, I think. And I mean, it's the same problem. Point guard position, there's just not a really good buyable option who's relatively affordable, unfortunately. And so therefore it's like, I think realistically what you got to do is you got to stick with the guys you have right now, unless you want to try out a Tyler Hero or Victor Oladipo would be a cheaper good option. Or DeJounte Murray, I guess, is a good option as well if you want more defense to replace Donovan Mitchell. But center position is the toughest spot here because there's not a guy to really buy who's around that 100K MT price point who's like a really, really good center. So maybe you spend the MT on Jaren Jackson Jr. He's the only guy that I think makes a huge dent and like a big upgrade on your squad, but he's going to be close to 300K. So it's one of those things you kind of have to consider if that's something you want to do or not. But I'd definitely get Al Harrington, Kermit Washington, move T-Mac to your starting 2, maybe consider a DeJounte Murray or somebody like that at point guard. And I think your team will be looking all right. Cubehead says he stumbled into a small loan of $1 million MT. He pulled Kawhi, I guess. And he's trying to upgrade the team with pieces that'll be there for a while, and he's thinking Jaren and Paulo. Jaren, 100%. He is your best big by far. If you buy him, I would do that 100%. Paulo is a good option as well. If you buy Jaren and Paulo, though, you're looking at spending 700 KMT. That's a lot. I would consider Al Harrington instead. I know I keep recommending him. He's really good, and he's much more affordable than Paulo, like a fourth of the price. That seems like a deal to me. And honestly, I might just sell Kukoc. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I might just sell Kukoc and use Cat as your backup 4 or something along those lines. But I would probably pick up Jaren, and I would pick up Al Harrington as well. And then if you want to consider like a shooting guard, another guy who I think is a decent name, who isn't being talked about as much right now, but is still very good, would be like an Andrew Wiggins. If you want to replace Mo Pete, move J. Rich to the bench, you could put Wiggins in as your starting 2 guard. That'd be a good option. And also, you're level 40. Oh, you have T-Mac on your bench. I would just use T-Mac, honestly. I think he's better than Mo Pete personally. But if you like Mo Pete, stick with Mo Pete. That's your choice. Either way, hopefully that was at least somewhat helpful there. But I would definitely get Jaren and then figure something out at the power forward, probably Al Harrington. Second to last team today comes in from Scott. Scott has, so he's a little stuck, 550 KMT, and this team, Halliburton and Jalen Green will give you a good point guard duo, so I got no issues with that. T-Mac and ML Carr. I don't love ML Carr at this point. I don't think he's bad, but I'd consider upgrading there. Scotty Barnes isn't bad. Jaime Hawk is really good. Derek Coleman, Christian Laettner, Jack Sikma, and Tyson Chandler. Your centers are awesome. Power forwards could use some work. I would consider Scotty Barnes being replaced with Kermit Washington if you wanted to do that, because for like 35K, I think he's really good. You could also just keep Scotty Barnes. You could put Kermit at the 4. I don't think that's a bad option either. I think he's better than Derek Coleman and Christian Laettner, to be honest. So I would consider that as well. Could always, like I said, get Al Harrington. I've mentioned him multiple times for good reason. He's a stud. Would even consider trying out Amethyst Obi Toppin, who you get for free at level 20 as well. I think he might be better than one or both of your power forwards. And then shooting guard, again, I think Andrew Wiggins is probably the best buy in terms of value and being an elite all-around card. And to me, those are the main upgrades you can make to help your team out right now. And then the final squad today comes in from my boy Craze. He says he's got about 50,000 MT. When I look at a team like this, your number one priority needs to be acquiring MT so that you can actually make upgrades to your squad. And honestly, Kyrie is not at all worth the MT that he's going for, and neither is Carmelo Anthony. You have Raja Bell in your last 3. Just throw Raja in Carmelo's spot and sell Carmelo. I know this is going to sound dumb, but just buy Ruby Mario Chalmers right now to slot in for Kyrie. Save yourself a lot of MT there by selling both those guys and only spending about 10K. That's probably going to get you around 300K MT instead of 50, which is going to give you a lot more flexibility. And then you got Mario Chalmers and Raja replacing Kyrie and Carmelo. Now, I know that's not like the finalized squad that you want, but it's a significant improvement. Then you can consider a guy like DeJounte Murray at point guard, have Chalmers off the bench, and that's much better to me. Shooting guards will be fine. MPJ and Raja will be just fine as well. Cat is good. Miles Turner's really good. Vlad Rad is pretty good, I think. And then Greg Monroe, not great. The last spot I'd be potentially looking to upgrade, but honestly, the easiest way to upgrade it again is going to be sliding Cat to your backup 5 and then picking up a 4, or even using a free 4 like an Amethyst Obi Toppin. But again, Al Harrington, I feel like I recommended him for every team today, but he fits the bill perfectly for this one. So to me, those are the main upgrades. DeJounte Murray and Mario Chalmers at point guard. Just replace Carmelo with Raja Bell and slide Cat to that 5 and get an Al Harrington, or even try out an Obi Toppin, and I think you will be chilling for sure. You could even sell MPJ and replace him with Amethyst Thabo Cephalosha as well to save even more MT. That's another thing that I will shout out as an option as well. So with that being said, hopefully some of these upgrades helped y'all out today, gave y'all a good picture of what you should consider with your team as well, even if I didn't include your team in the video. And I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.